Morning. Hi everyone. It's Monday. Let's see who shows up. Anyone there yet? Oh, there we go. It always jumps from like 0 to 5 people in one go. Morning everyone. How you all doing? Just scroll down. Oh yeah. I can see you all tuning in now. Just give it another, I don't know, 20 seconds. Then we'll get started. Terence, is there a time delay in Turkey? Are you like an hour behind or something? How does it work? Or is it the same time? Let us know. Educators while we wait. Loads of people. Yep. Matt and Joan and Charles and Janine and Scott and Elaine and Rosie and Louisa and Mary. Good morning, everybody. And if you missed yesterday's service, then you missed a really exciting announcement, which is that a week on Sunday, so that's the 20th of September, we will be starting to do in-person meetings in the church. And just quickly, I mean, you can go back and watch the announcement on Facebook or YouTube on the service if you just kind of fast forward to that towards the end. It was right at the end when we announced it. But just a quick overview. On the 20th, we'll be doing two Sunday services. One that will start at 10 and finish at 11. Then there'll be half an hour gap in between where we can kind of clean chairs and whatever ready for the next batch. And then there will be another meeting at half 11 until 12:30. And the half 11 until half past 12 one will be the one that we stream live on Facebook and YouTube. So the way it works is the Monday before the Sunday service each week, we will open up a booking system on our website, and you just need to book in. Let us know who you are and how many people are in your party, so we can set out the chairs so your block is sat together. And obviously, a block is meant to be like a family unit. I mean, yes, or if people that are in your bubble, but they have to be in your bubble. You can't just bring a friend and say, "In my bubble today." Like, we all know what a bubble is, don't we? Like, there are long term kind of people that are in your life that you've isolated together, if you like. So, yeah, so that's exciting, and we can't wait for that to happen. Other than that, Tuesday night as well, we've got prayer meeting this week, 7:30 on Zoom. So keep an eye out for the meeting ID and password for that. Otherwise, continue with devotions all week and testimony Thursday. So today we're looking at Proverbs 21. I'm going to read through the whole thing, and then we're going to pick out some verses and just talk from what God spoke to me about when I was looking at this. So we'll go from verse 1. So just again, in case you missed it, Proverbs 21. It says, "A king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. He directs it like a watercourse wherever he pleases. All a man's ways seem right to him, but the Lord weighs the heart. To do what is right and just is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. Haughty eyes and a proud heart, the lamp of the wicked, are sin. The plans of the diligent lead to profit, as surely as haste leads to poverty. A fortune made by a lying tongue is a fleeting vapour and a deadly snare. The violence of the wicked will drag them away, for they refuse to do what is right. The way of the guilty is devious, but the conduct of the innocent is upright. Better to live a life, better to live on the corner of a roof than share a house with a quarrelsome wife. The wicked man craves evil, his neighbour gets no mercy from him. When a mocker is punished, the simple gain wisdom. When a wise man is instructed, he gets knowledge. The righteous one, that's God, takes note of the house of the wicked and brings the wicked to ruin. If a man shuts his ears to the cry of the poor, he too will cry out and not be answered. A gift given in secret soothes anger, and a bribe concealed in the cloak pacifies great wrath. When justice is done, it brings joy to the righteous, but terror to evildoers. A man who strays from the path of understanding comes to rest in the company of the dead. He who loves pleasure will become poor. Whoever loves wine and oil will never be rich. The wicked become a ransom for the righteous, and the unfaithful for the upright. Better to live in a desert than with a quarrelsome and ill-tempered wife. If the house of the wise, in the house of the wise are stores of choice food and oil, but a foolish man devours all that he has. He who pursues righteousness and love finds life, prosperity, and honor. A wise man attacks the city of the mighty and pulls down the stronghold in which they trust. He who guards his mouth and his tongue keeps himself from calamity. The proud and arrogant man, mocker is his name, he behaves with overweening pride. The sluggard's craving will be the death of him, because his hands refuse to work. All day long he craves for more, but the righteous give without sparing. The sacrifice of the wicked is detestable, how much more so when brought with evil intent. A false witness will perish, and whoever listens to him will be destroyed forever. A wicked man puts up a bold front, but an upright man gives thought to his ways. There is no wisdom, no insight, no plan that can succeed against the Lord. The horse is made ready for the day of battle, but victory rests with the Lord. There's absolutely loads in there, but I think what the themes that come out to me are, well, if I could pick on two, I would say that it's that throughout it's talking about making plans and the role that we play in our lives. And around all that, there are many different bits of the Proverbs there where it looks at the right things that we are to do and talks about how if we live right, then good things happen. If we are wicked, then things kind of fall by the wayside and don't work out. So God is trying to say here that our focus, our attention really should be on being righteous, about living a good life. Now again, we've talked about this before, so I know you know this, but our salvation is not based upon our works, right? But we want to, wherever we possibly can, live a righteous life. And what he's saying here is our focus should be how can we please God by living right. And when it comes to actually plans and the purposes and how the role that we play in it, really, God is in control. That's what I get from this. This is what God's been speaking to me about recently quite a lot. God is in control. Verse 1 says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. He directs it like a watercourse wherever he pleases. Even people that are in authority, who we see as being people who direct our life, governments and kings and queens and people who are in charge of things, God has their heart. He is guiding their decisions and their heart. Verse 2 says that all a man's ways seem right to him, but the Lord weighs the heart. So in other words, we can make all the plans in the world and it always seems right, doesn't it? We've got this ideal plan of how it's all going to work out. Like we've figured it out. It's like, God, this is how it's going to happen. Don't even need your help. It's fine. Like, I figured it all out. But God's, he's not as much interested in our plans. He's more interested in our heart and our attitude and our motives and the way we go about things. Verse 3 says that to do what is right and just is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. God is more focused on our motives and our attitude, and the plans kind of irrelevant. They kind of don't really matter, because if God's in control, then whatever the plan is, the outcome will be what he wants to be. We should focus less on the plan, and more on be living an upright life, more on our motives and our attitudes. Verse 4, it says, haughty eyes and a proud heart, the lamp of the wicked are sin. It talks further on about pride as well. You know, we can easily fall into that snare of that. Someone's trying to ring me. Easily fall into the snare of thinking, we've got it all figured out. Like we've thought it all through, and aren't we great? And we're going to get the job done. But the truth is God is in control. He plans our life, and we have to trust in Him and focus on doing what's right. But planning doesn't mean the planning is bad. I mean, verse 5 says, "The plans of the diligent lead to profit, as surely as haste leads to poverty." Okay, so we're not saying here that we don't plan. It's good to plan, and being a diligent person is good. We should make plans. We should plan things, but we shouldn't put our faith in the plan. Our faith should be in God, and trusting in Him, so that when the times, when the plans don't go quite to plan, and things don't work out as you want them to work out, we don't suddenly decide that God's failed. Right? We recognize that God's in control of the plan. So we make plans and we be diligent, but the outcome is down to God. Verse 25, verse 26 also says, the sluggard's cravings will be the death of him, because his hands refuse to work. All day long he craves for more, but the righteous give without sparing. So yeah, we plan and we work and we're diligent, but the outcome, that's down to God. In fact, if you go to verse 30 and verse 31, it says, there is no wisdom, no insight, no plan that can succeed against the Lord. The horses may ready for the day of battle, but victory rests with the Lord. I want to just turn to what I've been reading in my daily readings, just today actually, in Exodus. It's a story of the Israelites leaving Egypt, and they've literally just left, and you know the story of all the plagues and everything, and God's taken them out, and the Egyptians are chasing after them, and God says, go back up the way you've come and go to where the Red Sea is. And when they get there, they see the Egyptians coming. So they had a plan, if you like. The plan was to leave. The plan was to make their way to the promised land. That was the plan. It was a plan that was given them by God. That was the plan. But all of a sudden, they're pinned in at the Red Sea with the Egyptians coming. And all of a sudden, it's like, Moses, why have you brought us here? It would have been better for us to stay as slaves in Egypt than to die in the desert. All of a sudden, because the plan wasn't working, they had no faith in God. And this is what Moses answers the people. He says, do not be afraid, stand firm, and you will see the deliverance of the Lord. You will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. This is Exodus 14, verse 13. It says, the Egyptians you see today, you will never see again. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. I'll remind you that don't put your faith in the plan. Put your faith in the outcome that God is in control, that Jesus is fighting the battle for you, and just be still. Be still internally. Work, plan, and trust God for the outcome. I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll have a fantastic week, and we'll see you at the prayer meeting tomorrow night or on Sunday at church.